today's toy spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys Retro Cloth Hateful 8. We're having a look today at Bob the Mexican. This is also the 8th figure that we're going to be having a look at, and the final figure from the Hateful 8 line of retro cloth figures. I hope you guys have enjoyed these videos so far. If you haven't watched the Hateful 8, give it a watch. It's a long movie, but I mean, Quentin Tarantino movies by nature are long movies. But if you get a chance to watch it, I think you'll really enjoy it, especially if you like the old westerns. It looks like Bob does come with a pistol, comes also with a knife. Like John, he has just a really large jacket on there too, so it's going to be interesting to see how that translates when we get it out of packaging. The side of the box features Hateful 8, Bob the Mexican, then on the back, Demian Bichir is Bob the Mexican. I don't know if I pronounced that actor's name correctly, but he is Bob the Mexican, an 8th film from Quentin Tarantino. Finally, to check out more from NECA Toys, head over to www.necaonline.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a look at the final figure, the 8th figure from the Hateful 8 retro cloth figure line, and that is going to be Bob the Mexican. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Okay, so looking at the final figure from the Hateful 8, we have Bob the Mexican. Bob comes with a pistol. Variation to some of the other pistols that we have looked at. I think really all of them bring different pistols. I don't think NECA gave us one. Well, that's not true. I think one of them had the same pistol as John. I'm just trying to remember which one it was, but all the other ones seem to have all their own different weapons. The pistol is more of a darker gunmetal gray and a grayish black handle. Bob also comes with a knife, almost an ivory white handle, bladed knife. Okay, now let's have a look at the figure itself. Now, kind of very similar to John Ruth, the Hangman, Bob here has this really large jacket. I can't imagine NECA also making this in real fur, so we can just, PETA, you don't have to worry. I think this is actually faux fur. I don't think it's real fur. But Bob has this very large jacket. It almost hinders complete movement out of his arms. You can move his arms out, but not really too much forward and back. It's really, really limited. I feel like I'm reviewing a Tribble just for the sheer amount of fur that's on this figure. And again, I don't think it's real fur, so I can't imagine NECA using real fur for a jacket like this. On the underside, you can see he's got like a gray shirt. He's got a vest. He's got a little holster there as well for holding his gun. I don't see a holster, or there wasn't a holster there for his knife. He's got cowboy boots. Underneath that, he's got some almost corduroy-style brown pants. And, of course, he has the scarf as well. His hat isn't removable, although none of the hats were removable on any of the Hateful 8 figures that had hats. For your likeness, it's not bad. Nice sculpt on the beard. One eye partially closed, the other eye slightly open. He's got a more of a rosier color to his cheek as well than some of the other figures. I like the sculpt on his hat. I like how they've curled up the hat. Paint, no issues at all with the paint, although the paint really is only residing in the head. The rest of the body is relying on clothing, and then if you get to underneath all that, you would be treated to a regular retro cloth body. Bob just happens to benefit from the fact he's got this jacket that just makes him so much bigger than some of the other figures, but it is still, at the end of the day, the same figure body, just different clothing and a different head, of course, as well. When it comes to your posability on Bob the Mexican, his head is on a ball joint. Surprisingly, despite the fact that all the other parts, components of his body is so limited in motion, you get a lot of movement, though, from his head. He has a waist swivel, full motion on his legs. His legs aren't hindered at all, even though his arms are. A bend at the knee, hinge in the foot. And as for your arms, the arms do move out. But motion moving forward and back becomes a little bit more problematic. So there is Bob the Mexican. Quite a good looking figure. Not probably my favorite, but you know, certainly really a good figure. So there is Bob. Okay, so let's bring in some of the other figures that we had to look at. Cowpuncher. Let's see if I can actually remember all these now. Marcus, you know what? We'll move Bob here. No particular order. These are just the ones that I've got nearby on my desk here. There's Marcus. Oswaldo. Hopefully they all stand. The Sheriff. Mannix. Let's see if we can actually get these guys all to stand. Standing would be good. There we go. There's the General. And there is Daisy. And finally, the figure that we first had to look at. And I honestly, I don't know if it's just because I have just a fascination with Kurt Russell, but my favorite is probably this guy right here, John Ruth, the Hangman. I mean, all the figures are great. And, not to rhyme with great, but if you want to get really all these figures, or if you're a little iffy about getting just one figure over the other, I really think like getting all 8 figures is the key. Display stands, yeah, display stands could have been helpful because, as you can see, getting some of these guys to stand is a little difficult. There we go. Get John here to stand. Yeah, after all, the movie is called Hateful Eight, so I suppose unless you have a soft affinity, I should say, for one character over the other, you would probably want to try to get all 8 of them. For one reason or another, though, the set to get all 8 is a little bit more expensive. I think I've seen like the set as a whole. I'm trying to get Daisy to stand here. I think I've seen the set as a whole for just a little over 200 or so. But I guess that's, if you think of each figure being about $25, there's 8 of them. I guess that's about, yeah, that's about right. You know, adding a little extra here and there. But they're really great figures. They're really great figures. NECA has just blown my mind for the fact that, first of all, oh, and there they all go. There they all go. NECA has just blown my mind for just the level of detail and care that they put into these. Sadly, Spot can't get them properly stand, but they really are great figures. Probably, again, my favorite is John Ruth. But you guys can certainly let me know. Let me know down below, out of the characters that we had a look at, as Spot's kind of just moving them all off here, what was your particular favorite? Or even just let me know what your favorite character is from the movie. Today we were having a look at the final figure. I kind of feel bad that I couldn't get them all to properly stand. But today we were having a look at the final figure from the Retro Cloth Hateful Eight line of figures. Today we're having a look at Bob the Mexican. Stay tuned, guys. Even though Spot's technically finished his review of the Hateful Eight figures, it doesn't mean that he's all out of videos. No, there's still plenty heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. Spot appreciates it. I really do. I really appreciate that you guys check out my stuff. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.